Beyond the shifting sands of the desert, Rajasthan serves as the stage for Loknatya, Earth's most diverse folk theater ecosystem. But how exactly do you document a sprawling, ever-shifting oral tradition that morphs with every distinct tribe and district? You look to the historical royal patrons. Kings like Sawai Jai Singh built the Surat Khana, while Sawai Pratap Singh supported 22 distinct scholars at the Gunijan Khana, and Sawai Man Singh II created the massive Poti Khana archives. By opening up these royal archives, we can organize an overwhelming amount of historical data into a precise 4-part theatrical taxonomy. Chapter 1 belongs to the musical operas known as khayals. In these performances, the lead caller is the halkara, the actors are the khiladi, and their fiercely competitive performances are called a dangal. This page details Kuchamani khayal, where men perform female roles to the dole, starring in Lachi Ram's epics. Panning down, we find the Shekhawati khayal, championed by Nanu Ram and Dulia Rana, producing massive hits like Heer Ranja. Contrast that heavily male cast with the Jaipuri khayal. Because it utilized the Gunijan Khana artists, women actually played the female roles here, performing plays like Jogi Jogan, Khan Gujari, Mian Bibi, and Patan. Then the form scatters across the map. You have the Hela khayal in Lalsot and Sawai Madhopur, using bomb and nobat drums for the long Hela Bena call. Up in Mundawar, there's the Ali Bakshi khayal, named after a king known as the Ras Khan of Alwar. We also track Dapali khayal in Alwar and Bharatpur, the Bent Ke Dangal in Dulpur, and the Kanaya khayal presented by a Media caller across Karoli, Sawai Madhopur, and Dausa. Every single khayal is a localized musical epic, entirely shaped by the specific dialect and instruments of the community that built it. Chapter 2 covers the oldest traditions. The most sacred is Gavri, or Rai. It's often called a Meru Nacha, an ancient foundation form performed exclusively by men of the Bhil tribe in Mewar, featuring short, highly specific plays like Goma Meena, Kalu Kir, Khan Gujari, Miawad, and Nahar. We can read about another Mewar tradition on this page, the 400-year-old Tura Kalanji. It was promoted by a Hindu saint, Tukangir, representing Shiva, and a Muslim saint, Shah Ali, representing Parvati. Centered in Gosunda and Nimuch, performers deliver dialogues called Bol on a stage called a Munch, running epics like Sagar Set and Rukmini Mangal, led by artists like Jaidial Soni and Hamid Beg. Further west, Jaisalmer and Bikaner developed an interactive form called Ramat. In Bikaner, the Festival of Holi officially kicks off with the Fakar Data Ki Ramat, famously performed on large wooden boards in a style known as Pata Sanskriti. The Ramat repertoire is expansive: Puran Mal, Moradwaj, Amar Singh Rator, Leila Majnu, and Hey Dal Mary, which is uniquely a comedy about an ideal wife. The artists are called Kailar, led by a main character known as the Teria, and feature heavy hitters like Suva Maharaj, Fagu Maharaj, and Mani Ram Vyas. These interactive plays also functioned as political weapons. In Jaisalmer, an artist named Tej Kavi formed the Shri Krishmat Company. By 1943, he wrote a pro-independence play called Swatantra Bhawani, personally delivered it to Mahatma Gandhi, and brazenly defied a British warrant for his unarrest. These forms represent a shift from the internal devotion of sacred tribal rituals toward public, interactive epics that eventually gave certain performers a way to speak back to power. Chapter 3 shifts the focus to heavy, physical spectacle. Looking at the bottom right of this page, we find Bhavai, a form found near the Gujarat border. Started by Bagaji Jat of Kekri, it features male-centric plays like Bikaji and Bagaji, alongside the famous Jasma Odin, written by Shanta Dandi, all championed by acrobatic artists like Sangilal Sagaria. This physical craftsmanship extends to Kathputli, the traditional string puppetry. Carved entirely from Ardu wood in Udaipur and Chittorgarh, these figures are operated exclusively by the Naut and Bhat castes. The form is so prominent globally that World Puppetry Day is celebrated on March 21st. Over in Tonk, you have Char Baith, an intense vocal performance where singers kneel on the ground and strike the daf drum.
It was established by Abdul Karim Khan Nihang under the patronage of Nawab Faizullah Khan. This section of our source text details the disguise art of swung, where performers called Berupia completely disappear into their characters. Modern champions like Parshuram Bond and Janaka Lal Bond have kept this alive, with Janaka Lal receiving a Padma Shri in 2024 for his work. You also see highly specific, hyper-local rituals pop up in this category, like Tutiya, where women perform mock marriages, or the Garlila enacted by the Garasiya tribe. These forms share a common thread. They rely on physical illusion and immediate street-level engagement, erasing the separation between the performer and the audience. Eventually, that barrier between performer and audience goes up, bringing us to Chapter 4, Formal Stage Productions. Take Tamasha. It was originally a Maharashtrian import brought to Jaipur by Sawai Pratap Singh. Promoted by Bansidhar Bhatt on open stages called akhadas, families of artists like the Bhatts performed plays like Jutan Mian. In eastern districts like Bharatpur and Dholpur, you find Nautanki. Heavily influenced by the Hathras style in neighboring UP, it employs a massive orchestra of 9 instruments. Promoted by Burilal, it launched heavy-hitting artists like Ram Dayal Sharma and performing troupes led by Gulab Bhai and Krishna Kumari. They tackled massive dramatic epics, Nala Damayanti, Laila Majnu, Roop Basant, Harish Chand, and Nakab Posh. Religious epics also scaled up. Goswami Tulsidas started the Ram Leela, which notably has a completely silent version in Bisau. The Vallabh sect built the Ras Leela around Lord Krishna, centered in Fulera under Shivlal Kumawat. Meanwhile, Moti Lal Jat wrote the very first Rasdari Natak in Mewar. True structured stagecraft finally arrived when Mahbub Hassan introduced the Parsi theater style. By 1878, Maharaja Ram Singh II built Jaipur's first formal venue, the Ram Prakash Theatre, paving the way for regional hubs like the Bhawani Natyashala in Jalawar and Bikaner's Ganga Theatre, elevating artists like Manikalyal Dangi. The arrival of Parsi theatre marked a hard line in the historical record. The era of communal, open-air village rituals had successfully transitioned into sophisticated, ticketed commercial entertainment. From simple wooden pada boards laid in the sand to the grand arches of proscenium theater stages, the evolutionary journey of Loknatya is immense. The sheer density of the names, plays, and regional variations we've mapped out serves a greater purpose than archival record-keeping. These performances form an unbroken, living chain of devotion, political rebellion, and pure joy. Every single district, from the harsh desert borders of Jaisalmer to the manicured royal courts of Jaipur, engineered its own highly specific method of making sense of the world through storytelling. Rajasthan's history of Loknatya demonstrates how survival and spectacle have turned performance into the very foundation of its regional identity.